Hello and welcome back to Remembering Tuscola, our weekly webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with two men who are just ordinary guys, according to Bill. Two men who need no introduction. So I want to introduce them.
As Bill said, we're just trying to fill in the blanks, get by one more day.
I guess I should introduce you for people who may not know, but if they don't know who you guys are, my goodness. Two of Tuscola's pillars, Mike Carroll, Bill Englehardt.
I stand around the IGA a lot, kind of wave to people.
I think
Mike
we
is
might,
a retired judge, state's attorney, lawyer, land developer, artist, and author, columnist, webcaster.
Wow.
And
we do better if they don't praise us.
I say you got it. Yeah, that was
Don't
really
now
nice.
don't praise Bill.
and
Yeah,
Bill and Bill
that,
is a greeter at IGA.
yeah. See, there you go.
Well, he's a former classmate, good athlete, a great guy,
Retired school administrator.
teacher, administrator, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Thank you.
So what about me?
Well, we don't have to introduce you, do we?
Class of 83.
I was talking to Randy Hastings the other day, and Randy gave you a compliment. He said,
Yeah.
Dave is really a good newspaper guy. I said, really? Of
Really?
course he is. I said, he's a great, he is. And I've written this. I said, this guy is a newspaper guy.
Well,
But
only because Randy's dad gave me a chance.
here's the sad thing, David. All kinds of adjectives. Number one, you were factual, you were fair, you check things out, you were reasonable, you tried to be balanced, blah, 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 blah. And today, people get their news off of X or True Social or whatever it's called, these podcasts, the internet. And I don't think those standards are there anymore, David. I hate to say this.
No,
Cable news is not news.
no.
It's just propaganda.
No, it's tough. I mean, that's a passion of mine is to uh, make sure that everyone has a bias. You need to make sure you're not writing based on your bias. And I tell people I'm in the truth business. I'm not in the rumor business. And so report what's true. And some years ago when I was working on a daily paper and had several reporters working for me, I developed what I called the RAFT test. Is it responsible, accurate, fair, and thorough?
Hmm.
And if it helps you to remember it, you can say it as fair, accurate, responsible, and thorough. And they can figure out what that spells on their own. So
Well, that spells turd, doesn't it? Have I got that
fart
mixed up?
I
spells
think you
fart.
do.
Oh, it's like close to a turd.
Yeah, it's
Well, your age probably turd, but
Yeah, you think it's the fart.
yeah.
yeah, you can't trust it.
No, you can't
No,
trust
you
it.
don't trust it.
You gotta sit on the toilet and verify.
We're just getting started. We've already fallen.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've violated our news ethics standards.
Doesn't take much.
We're probably banned from the
We'll
newsroom
be
now.
banned from the newsroom.
We'll be out in the snow with the AP.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't get into the White House. So, anything else before we start pictures?
No, you got anything else?
No, I think we're enjoying the weather. We're looking forward to the Warriors regional championship game tomorrow night.
Against Casey?
I believe it's Casey, and
What do you call it? What are you guessing? What are you predicting?
well, I saw the first game that they lost to Casey,
And they're
but this is on a neutral court,
I think we'll win by
and
about
it's
eight.
not on a Saturday afternoon, so I think we'll win by 10.
I said we'll win by 9. I'll go under you one.
Okay,
9. All right. So we got 9 and 10.
right.
I'm going to
But in
take
each case,
14.
we win.
I'm going to take 14.
Okay. And this
I
is all
don't-
for $10, right?
Okay.
For what?
$10.
$10.
Okay, a cigar.
$10 would be cheaper.
Yeah, I know it would. Not the way you buy them. Well, you ready to identify some pictures?
I'm ready if you're ready.
We can't get any more ready, I don't think.
We're ready.
Well, that's the lunchroom at the high school when I went there to school. That's after Gibson and Fortney went through the lunch line.
I'm guessing this is USI after a decomp.
Yeah, yeah, that looks like the decomp wall.
Blew the desk up,
Yeah,
file cabinet.
my dad was in that building that's covered here. These reactors out here are uncovered, so the blast goes outwards, but then the building here is brick and
Yeah.
covered. So yeah, when it blows, it knocks stuff over. And
Looks like it blew out some windows. Somebody's lunch there's
that's my dad's lunch pail.
on the sill.
My goodness.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that's PCL, I think, isn't that polychloride? That's PCL that used to
PCL.
explode.
Wow. Oh, you knew they were coming. Oh, looky here. We're moving dirt on the golf course.
No, this is
I don't
think-
think this is the golf course.
It is. It's, I think, number 3.
You think? Because these pictures are older. These
no,
are
Back over
either
there.
60s or 50s.
Well, they were thinking about it. Where is?
I'm wondering if it's Parkview.
Hold on a minute.
I don't know if we can identify any of the structures in the background.
well, I think it could be. That could be Bass's over there. No, this did become the golf course. I mean, look in that back toward Bass's over here.
That's what I thought. That's why I said initially that's what it looked like.
It looks like a rolling hill here, Bill. Look at
But when
this.
was the golf course built?
97?
So this would have been way before then, by
Well,
30 years at least.
Oh, there is this. Could this be out near the lake? It's on the south side of town. Park.
Whipple?
That'd be Wimple.
Where's Bob Taylor when I need him?
Bob and Mitch probably know what it is.
We got the operator. I don't have any names.
Okay, we see some people here we know, or one for sure. Well, two. Oliver Glenn is over on the wall in the darker coat. Across from him is Lita Whitaker in the light sweater, and behind Lita is
Janet Southern.
Janet Southard. Isn't that Weber?
Yeah. Who was he? Was a building guy, inspector,
Electrician.
electrician. Yeah. That Hallie Hopkins.
I thought Hallie, I don't think it is, but I don't know. This looks like one of those serious school board meetings.
It does look like a school board confab.
Who's the fellow next to Oliver Glenn? He doesn't look familiar.
Mm-mm.
That's Dale Bateman from the Ag Department.
Yeah. He never would turn the heat on out there. Had to wear his coat all the time. Dale's still alive?
No, nice fellow. Really nice. Came from Farmer City or
Well,
someplace.
civic minded, did
His
a lot,
wife was a good teacher.
did a lot for the community.
Yeah.
His wife was my kindergarten teacher, and my wife succeeded her in that classroom.
My wife succeeded Lita Whitaker.
Uh,
Mm-mm. Don't have it.
I don't have a name on this one either. I do on this one.
Make this bigger here.
This lady worked at the bank.
Marine Deaver Purcell says, I think this is my dad's office nurse.
Huh. I don't remember her.
So that's a clue.
I was usually carried straight back to the doctor's room bleeding.
Mary Lou
Right.
Flume. Mary Lou
Who?
Mary Lou Flume.
Mary Lou, before Mary Lou Flume, she was, he ran the Scheidemann?
Cheval?
Cheval.
Ed Cheval?
I think he died. I think she married Wibb, if I got the right person.
I think it's a different one, but I've been wrong before.
I'm not sure where this is, but the chair looks familiar.
Well,
You have a name on this?
Not a name, but Carol Cohen says, Kim and Mary Lee McGee, your mother was always classically
Newsome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's Mary Newsel, Rosemary Newsel.
Rosemary Newsel?
Didn't recognize her.
Well, you know what? If you cover up the top part of her head there, I guess I could see her.
Yeah,
But you really covered it.
that's her.
That's that church south in Newman.
Oh, isn't it one isn't it north on, that's not the one on the hill up on north? Oh, you think that's one south, the Albin?
I think that's the
Albin Cemetery?
Albin and or
Allen.
Steve Allen.
Could be about a half-mile south of Newman.
Well, according to Marilyn Klein, it's the Parkville United Methodist Church.
Well, good.
That's what I
close.
thought. That's what I thought.
And if that's the case, that's probably the outhouse that my brother's class stole.
Yeah.
Probably. Parkville Tavern.
We're gonna figure that one out here. That is,
Chris Hills.
I think that's Chris Hill's house.
Mm-hmm.
Or Van Voris.
Well, at that time it was Van Voris, right?
Well, Van Voris.
But who lived in the house next to it? It's
Well,
gone.
it was a bungalow style house, and I think before Chris tore it down was Hawkins lived there.
Clyde?
Well, he sold insurance for Hillard and his
Oh,
son,
Tom?
was and his son was a mechanic for Mercedes. And I don't know if Tom's parents lived there or Tom lived there, but I think the Hawkins.
Tom Hawkins lived.
Maybe his son lived there.
They lived next to us in Parkview.
Well, maybe his son lived there then.
Might be. I don't know.
But I think that's who lived
But
there.
Well, that's changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, I looked into, Chris told me he was going to tear it down. I said, Chris, I'd like to move that house to a lot. And he said, I'll give you 30 days to figure it out. And I called around. I always thought that was an easy thing to do
To move a house?
Yeah. Gee, many Christmas, you got to do an exact foundation. You got to measure it. And then they started charging tremendous amount of money to drop the lines to come out as you travel, drop the lines. So it got very, very, very expensive to move a house. It used to be pretty cheap. They moved these old Victorians around.
They moved several of them from Villa Grove.
Yeah, I don't think today it's economically viable.
Nice snowstorm. Whoa, here's the Oakland cheerleaders. They just saw Bob Trimble dunk one.
This is in the 60s. 61 probably. Bob Trimble and Elvis Presley spit curl about like this guy here.
But we're not supposed to tell that. He told me not to tell that.
Yeah.
Lena McCoskey Hedinger says Oakland cheerleaders are Jewel Babbs, Connie Montgomery Cravens, Janet Green Duzan, Rita Foltz, Annetta Bertner Duzan. I think team players were Bob Trimble, Bob Giles, Bill Farthing, Calvin Taylor, and Bill Fleming.
Yeah.
Well, we had most of them.
Yeah, we could have named them.
I played against Bobby Giles my freshman year.
Should have had a 3-point line.
62. There we go. You name your friends.
Wow. This is Dole, the oldest Dole boy, Jim Wright, Amos Albritton, Burge. Oh, I was supposed to name just That's Brewer, Jameson, and
You can-
I'll let you have the principal.
Oh, you could, Woolman,
Raymond Wool.
great guy. And you think that's not Ed, is it?
That's the oldest Dole boy, yeah.
What was his name? Whip?
Well, I thought it was Ed.
Well, I knew it Ed though. I don't know if that's it.
This is a Dole that was in your class. Where'd they move to, Neoga?
Don't know.
See, now Mitzner and Taylor will pull our chain on that one.
Yeah, they can do it. I gotta say something before I forget. I've already forgot. See that, David?
Hang on, let me go to speaker view. Okay,
Can you see it?
yeah.
That's tasks, trust, appreciation, and support with kindness. It's a mentoring program that's being administered through the Douglas County Health Department. Tim Colbacker's in it. Heading it up for Douglas County is Cody Shelmadine.
Yeah, we had a story on that in the paper.
Yeah, and Cody wanted me to know if we could, he said they're trying to publicize it. They're looking for mentors. And they need people to help mentor. It's a real nice program. And their website is www.dchealth.org, DC Health for Douglas County Health Org. And so I was down there getting coffee, talking to Tim and talking to Cody. Tim has a lifetime of counseling over at Decatur with veterans with problems. And Cody's just a real nice kid that sells really good coffee. So I told them I would, they said, could you get us on the podcast? I said, well, it's going to reach thousands, but I'll try. I kept saying, here's how dumb I am. And Bill would get it too. I looked it all over. There's no phone number, Bill. There's no address anywhere. Okay.
Wow.
And I said, well, how in the world do you get a hold of them? And he said, well, duh.
You got to do the app thing.
Do that.
Yeah,
do that
QR
thing.
code.
Yeah, I've never done that in my life. Here, I'll try it now. I'll rub it against this corner. Nothing, David.
After the show, I'll tell you how to use a QR code.
I'll rub it up here. No,
Yeah,
nothing happened.
yeah. That's
You know what,
not-
David? This is how bad we are. Yesterday, he's trying to get a hold of me, and this phone, of course, look at my padding. My case is kind of broken off. I dropped it a few times.
Yeah.
That thing was shut off. I didn't know it turned off there completely.
Oh, you probably turned it down. Was that
No,
clip?
the sound was all right. I've got
Oh.
it fixed now.
There it is, silent mode.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's silent mode. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
You do
mean
that.
to.
You do that when you don't want to talk to me.
Well, no, that wasn't it. I just,
That was a joke.
oh,
Hey, guys, we're on the air.
I,
See,
anyway,
we have trouble. Really?
we're having trouble now.
We're having trouble now. So that's a QR code, and there's something you can do with that.
There is. I'll show you later. Okay,
Okay,
we got
that's
everybody's,
Okay, we got that.
we got everybody's names on this one.
Yeah.
Those live on Cherry Street.
Yeah, that little bitty.
Hmm.
Tell us where she works, and we still won't know her name.
Well, I don't know where she worked. But
Well,
I do
give us
have
her
her
name.
I do have her name. I'll give you the initials. MH.
I don't
Give
think
us
I
her
know.
first name.
Marjorie.
Marjorie Helm?
Marjorie Helm.
Is that what's his name's wife?
Russell.
No.
Not Russell. He
Uh,
would be a policeman.
Yeah, Everett Helm.
Everett.
Yeah.
Everett. Used to
This
be
was interesting,
he had two
and
daughters.
The two daughters and
One of them looked just like her mom.
like her mom.
Yeah.
Pretty
this
good.
was interesting. We appreciate people's help in identifying the pictures, because these are just in boxes at the newspaper office, and they're not labeled. We don't know who they are, so we put
Yeah.
them on here in hopes that people will help identify them for posterity.
Let me
So So we got one comment that says, my mom, exclamation point. Then another one says, my mother, two exclamation points. And then another comment says, my grandmother, three exclamation points.
At least nobody said my dad.
Yeah. But
David,
finally, Dixie Curry says it's Marjorie Helm.
I just a quick story on Everett Helm was a part-time police officer, maybe full-time,
Well, he drove for Galton Grain too.
but he was the old-fashioned cop that would give you a break.
They
And
gave me a ticket.
I think Englehart might have been in the car, but I was driving my dad's 57 Ford. We were leaving the old Monticles, and I think Cunningham or Bright or Skinner, these are all
Right.
bad, these are all bad influences. Get on it, get on it. And I punched it. And I was wheel hopping going 45 degrees sideways down behind Save More, behind Higgins' place. I mean, I was just laying a patch of rubber bouncing. And all of a sudden the lights came on right behind me. It was Everett Helm. And I pulled over and he says, Mike, what the hell are you doing? I said, oh, damn, Everett. I said, Dad's going to kill me if you. And he talked to me about 5 minutes. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a warning, but you just can't do this stuff. And I said, and I've never forgotten the generosity of Everett Helm. And I know nowadays they don't give you those kind of breaks probably, but that
Might have
was
put
well
your
appreciated.
might have put your judgeship in jeopardy.
Oh, it's been in jeopardy. It was in jeopardy every day I walked.
All right, so we got that one.
That's Marjorie Helm.
That's what?
Well, there we go. That's his honor, Daly on the right. It looks just like Richard Daly.
It does.
Well, David Kincoy and Chubb Connor say that it is.
I'll be darned. Did he come down here?
Well, either that or the newspaper went
Tuscola?
up there.
Yeah. The honorable.
This guy looks familiar on the far left.
The big argument. Oh, okay. The big argument today is the federal civil service. Back it used to be patronage.
Mhm.
When I was state's attorney, they demanded you only hire Republicans and pay money.
Mhm.
And then the Elride decision came down and says, no, you can't. It's got to be merit. But Mayor Daley used to be all patronage. Hire his friends and cronies. Everybody hated that. But then they went to civil service, and Jane Burns, I think, was the mayor. They had a snowstorm and they didn't get the streets cleared. People,
Mhm.
and they got mad and voted her out of office. And they said daily streets were always cleared. And I read an article by Royko who said they were cleared because these were his cousins and nephews. And he said, look, you guys shouldn't even have the job. You get out there and get those streets cleared, or I'll fire you tomorrow, back when they had. So patronage wasn't all bad, I don't think, because the streets were cleared under Richard Daley.
Mike Royko,
What a guy.
what a writer.
Boy, there's some heavy hitters down here.
Well, if this is in Tuscola, maybe, I don't know. It's
That's Slats Grubnik.
I don't have any names on this one.
No, I didn't think so.
These are big time Republicans. That might be 61 or 2, because that's the modern street light. Remember when they went to those, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Used to have a wire hanging across
Yeah.
there and then a little shade.
Just a shade,
60,
a metal shade.
100-watt bulb.
Yeah.
Could barely see your face underneath it.
That
You
looks
didn't have
like the
to-
old five and dime store behind him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's their freeze up there, that 10 Z.
This would be right by Gus's.
Looking across east.
Look to the east.
Yep, across from the candy kitchen.
Yeah, I think Chris Hill, when he bought that building, tried to restore it a little bit. Keep that freeze there. I don't know. Well, she looks familiar.
She does look familiar.
Well, Kurt Turner says J.R. and Betty Van Gundy Arcola, and Ann Monahan says John and Rhodey King.
Well, boy,
Oh, that's John and Rhodey King. That's not J.R. and Betty. That is Johnny King.
Johnny King.
No wonder she looked familiar.
Their daughter Nancy King Mertz is
Artist.
been artist of the year. I've got one of her paintings right up there.
There you go. Painting coming. Their daughter's really a class painter. Rhodey just passed away not that long ago.
Looks like the community building. And you got the old homemade pipe rail coat rack.
Mm-hmm.
This is a painting. Can you get this?
Oh, hang on. Let me
Look at that.
there you
Yeah.
go. Now you can show it.
This is a painting by Nancy King Mertz, Rhodey and Johnny King's daughter, is a Chicago artist. Mark and Bonnie Petty bought this for a home warming gift when we built our house. She's a great artist. See it down here.
Yeah.
What's the picture of? Looks
Yeah,
like
I'm going to tell you the next picture. I can tell you in the next picture why John and Rhodey King were at this next event.
I can too, because his wife.
Right there. That's
Masonic.
Joe Wills on the, yeah, that's Joe Wills, a young Joe Wills, who was married to the Van Gundy, help me,
Barb,
Van Gundy, Barb Wills.
Johnny King's sister.
Yeah. Now,
We should know this guy right
And Joe just passed recently.
here. He's about 90 some years
yeah,
old.
he was about 94. Rhodey was up there too.
They'd moved to a Lincolnshire golf course in Champaign, lived in the condos up there.
Ran the Filson elevator at one time.
We know that guy.
Do you have the names on here besides Joe Wills?
Joe's the only one I got. But Joe was at Carriage Crossing in Arcola.
Daughter Jerry was taking care of him, did a great job.
I don't have any names on this one.
I don't know who that would be.
I don't think it is. So they're open. I see where you're getting that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't remind me of any of them.
No.
That chair looks like one we've got at the newspaper office. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this was in the newspaper office.
Well, they used to have a beauty contest for, should I say middle-aged women? What should I say?
Well,
I mean-
whatever it's going to be politically incorrect.
Well, for young looking, but not teenager. Well, Trump said there's only men and women, so I can say women.
There you go.
I could say women,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can say whatever you want, as long as he believes it.
As long as he signed an executive order.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's Merwin the Magician. Now the guy on the left is Quinn. That's Carl Quinn's brother, isn't it?
Bob Quinn,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And that's Merwin the Magician handing him a
That's
thing.
when they robbed the bank.
That is, and he's handing him over the sweaty balls there.
Yeah, I think it's a
Balls.
I think it's a bank thing, but I love this picture. It does look like I thought magician too when I saw it.
Yeah, that's Mandrake.
And I love the expression on both of their faces.
Yeah, Bob was not good with a camera in front of him. I just talked to Shirley the other day, Carl's wife. We were both up at the Carl Hospital where I spend most of my time, and she's doing well. Her son Steve took her up. But everybody knew Carl, but Bob wasn't quite as
Bob ended up being a custodian
he was
for
up at
us.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bill and I both know their dad, Pete. Pete Quinn would shoot pool.
With Herc Manwaring.
And Pete would always have a stogie in his mouth when he shot pool.
Worked for the county.
Worked for the county, delivered groceries for Bruce Williams, I think, for a while. Helped him out.
And then Carl smoked a pipe.
Carl was a pipe smoker.
Carl's a good guy.
Carl was a great guy. Carl was 1953, one of 5 Tuscola players made the News Gazette all-state football, I mean, all-area football team. He was tough as,
He was
he was a
tough
Jack
guy.
Donalds kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his grandkids are pretty good basketball players.
Well, they didn't turn out bad, did they?
Pretty fair. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
we know him.
This girl here back here looks familiar.
I don't have any names on this. The one on the left looks like my cousin Joyce. Joyce Hall.
By the way, your cousin Dallas was named Farmer of the Year up in News
I
Gazette.
saw that.
Well, Larry.
Larry, quite an honor. So hats off to Larry. Hats off to Larry. I think so.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
That was Del Shannon, wasn't it?
Del Shannon.
That's all.
Yeah, see, I don't think the audience remembers.
Does anybody out there remember Del Shannon?
I doubt it.
I watched
What
Del
a way
Shannon
to-
on TV just the other day.
I saw him in Springfield and Runaway Sue. Sue.
Sue.
Kind of a sad story. He was taking antidepressant for anxiety over his last album he was recording, and made him suicidal, and he killed himself.
Those guys didn't make much money back then. Guys like Del Shannon,
Hmm.
They didn't quite.
I don't have any names on this one either.
No. Well, there's Harry Pate's wife
Marguerite
on the second one in the upper left.
with the glasses.
Yeah, I think we know that one too, but this
The only
may be
other-
Hospital Auxiliary.
The only other name, Sue Wetzel. Gavin says Evelyn Warren standing on the left.
Well, I think, yeah.
You know what that is? Now that I look at it,
I'm guessing this.
Carol, her daughter, Carol was in my class.
I'm guessing this is Hospital Auxiliary. I think Mrs. Oh, there we go. Unity cheerleaders. Now this is about 61.
Yeah, the newspaper seemed to like taking pictures of the other team's cheerleaders.
This guy on the right is Kerry Budinger,
I was going to say it looked like him.
his freshman year. His brother was, that could be his brother. My freshman year, I played football against, Kerry was 65, my class. We got to be good friends. Kerry died about 4 or 5 years ago with leukemia. And his Bud Budinger was his brother, went to the Air Force Academy, played football, quarterback.
Hmm.
I'm trying to look at these girls here. I don't think I recognize any of them.
Well, they're
Didn't
the
have
same ones.
Do with Unity girls.
Well, I did. In fact, Kerry asked me to take he married Vicky Light, and he asked me to date her one time. And I said, why? He said, so she'll realize what a deal she's got with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's
What?
that? How's
Yeah,
that?
that makes, yeah.
That made
He
me
was
think.
impressed with you.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hang on, Sloopy. I recognize Barb and Jean.
Yeah, because their names are on their shirts.
I don't even know what town this is.
I've got names for all of these.
Are these Newman girls?
I'm not sure where they're from.
Well, give us the names then. This
Scott
girl back
Shearer-
here.
Scott Shearer says left to right, Jackie Rhodes, Teresa Happ, Sue Bender,
No wonder.
Jean
Who's
Becku, Beccue, and
Becku.
Becky.
and Barb Albin.
Well, Teresa Happ, we knew her sister Barb,
Skinner.
Villa Grove girls.
Yeah, Villa Grove girls.
I think I date with Koss, Kathy Brown. Well, there was Burnett. Who dated Burnett? Was that McGrath? Villa Grove girls were nice. These are is this Oakland again?
I'm
Kind of
not
looks
sure where they're from. Could be Oakland, Oakwood.
Well, I think it's
It'd be Oakland.
This is the 61 Oak Valley Conference playoffs, I think.
I don't have any names on those.
What schools came here? Now this is we know these girls.
Yeah, Linda, Mary, Jerry, Bonnie, and
Well,
somebody else.
you know them too.
I don't know the last one.
Oh, that's
Marla.
Marla.
Marla, maybe?
No, I think we know these girls, seriously.
Yeah, Marla, right there she is again.
Is that Arthur? Do you have any names?
Nope, I don't have any names. But I do have another picture of them, three of
He
them.
gave me 65, Arthur. I recognize all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they
I
won
don't know
the
what school it is either.
cheerleader cake decorating contest. I think it's the Ocala Conference. Is that Buckshot?
Can't tell.
I can't tell either.
No names.
Yeah,
On names on the next several.
I thought we'd seen
we've
her.
seen this one.
What gym's that, Mike?
I think is this Tuscola?
I don't think so.
Pull them out.
I
I
don't-
don't think so.
That's Tommy Stewart.
It looks like Tommy Stewart, the old Champaign football coach. Probably the best referee I played against in high school was Tommy Stewart. Wayne Norton and Tommy Stewart. Bob Wright was too tough.
Bob Wright was tough.
He was tough.
So was Henry Bowman.
Oh, he was good. Black referee, really good. I thought Tommy Stewart was the best. Don't know. Okay, here's Oakland again. And there's Tuscola teacher. Those are Tuscola cheerleaders down at the other end. And that's Barb Nuccio, I think, standing there.
Hmm.
This is probably 62 class.
Villa Grove is where this gym is.
Is this Villa Grove's gym?
Yeah. And there's the Oaks out on the court, I think. They had those kind of uniforms, didn't they? Remember the sleeves?
Yeah. Look how high those girls are.
Gee, money.
They could probably hurdle. They ought to high jump.
Always like looking up in the audience.
Oh, what in the world is that behind him?
Wanna
Go
look
back.
at the audience.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of like sometimes towards the back row kids
I'd hate to be at the top and go to the bathroom. I don't see a way down.
back in those days you could hold it.
Yes, you can hold it for a week. I can't hold it for 7 steps.
Roy Mount.
What is that in the back though? What's a lot of stuff on the wall?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ammunition.
Had to do with photography, didn't it? Who did he got a name?
No,
Then why did I say that?
Because you're old.
Because I'm old.
It looked like a Roy Mount in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know this couple too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm pulling my hair out on this because I know him.
You got initials for this guy?
Farm
H
A H.
K
Oh, it's Keith House. I knew him.
and Esther.
Hmm. Mike House's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Marilyn.
Marilyn House. Yeah.
Your classmate.
Marilyn was my class. Great gal. Okay.
Governor Kerner.
This is not Tuscola.
No.
This is up Chicago. Otto Kerner went to prison along with most all of our other governors. They say at the sentencing hearing, Otto called Everett Dirksen as a witness. And he said, I've known Otto going on nigh 22 years. And the prosecutor jumped up and says, if you'll get him to shut up, I'll drop the sentence recommendation. Drove everybody crazy.
Everett was a little slow.
Okay. This is the community building,
That's Bill Betzel.
loading his truck.
Yeah, in front of the community building, you can see the depot and the Fullerton
Mhm.
elevator.
He's taking all these gals on a little trip down to see Arcola.
He was really looking forward to
Listen, quit yelling back there. Quit fighting.
it. Oh, that's Houseman singing.
That is Frank Hausman, who was an Elvis Presley impersonator.
Danny Lee just
Well,
passed away. Isn't
that Danny Lee down here.
that's Danny down there. Then.
Down on the ground, second one in is Danny Lee, who's in your paper this week for passing away. Frank Hausman married Charlotte Wellborn.
That's Charlene Martin there.
On the girl sitting there,
Far left is Charlene Martin, and this is
Hausman.
Houseman.
Is that the one that married
Yeah, Paul
Paul
Donnelly.
Donnelly?
You got a lot of comments and names on this one. I've got two different names for the drummer. So tell me who the drummer is.
Well,
Can't help you.
tell us the two names, we'll tell you which one it is.
Well, Amy Lee says it's Bob Beasley on drums.
I don't know.
Alice Hatchell says looks like Julius Crop.
Julius Crop.
I would go with Julius Crop.
Yeah. Here, well, wait here. I'll see if I can find it.
This is probably 65,
60.
maybe.
I guess it's 60. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get this one here. Let me see. Because Beasley was 60. Let's see if we can find Crop. And there's Danny Lee.
Mm-hmm. And that's him back there.
We got Danny Lee. Beasley was 60, not or 59. Beasley was actually 59. I think that's Julie Crop.
I do too.
Amy Lee says pretty sure Richard Dick Lee playing guitar in the back.
Now that's his brother. They
Mm-hmm.
in the summertime, when I was about an eighth grader or freshman, you go out to the park in the summer and they would play and sound just like the Everly Brothers.
Sharon Swingle says third girl is Linda Burris.
I think that is Linda Burris. That sure is.
Alice Hatchell says girl on the left was a Martin. Can't think of her first name. Donna Stahl,
Charlene.
Charlene Martin, Linda Wagner, Susan Burris, question mark, and herself, Donna Stahl.
Yeah, Linda Burris was her sister was Susan Burris, class of 67, Andrea's class.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Turner says
This
maybe
Wagner.
Linda Wagner on the second from left.
No, that looks like a Wagner. But here's Danny Lee. See Danny Lee sitting back there.
Who's the kid sitting next to him?
Hey, can you go back to that?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
go. I thought you were going to hold up the picture.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Now
Where I
you're,
put it at now.
yep. I think
You
you,
got it?
yeah,
The haircut.
yeah.
That's the way.
He was a great guitar player. Their son plays in Mackville,
Mm.
I think.
Really?
Plays the Danny married my ex-brother-in-law Steve Kleiss' sister Connie. Danny was just a nice guy. Dick, Frank Hausman.
Yeah.
Frank impersonated the Tuscola Strand. Frank got on the stage and impersonated Elvis Presley singing Hound Dog Man back in the 60s. And I imagine he's singing. Okay. That looks like a Rutan, but I'm not
This
sure.
is in Tuscola, but it's all Arcola people.
Well, let's see if we can recognize any Arcola people.
I've
That's
got
Don
names.
Munson's wife.
I've got names for all of them.
Well, give us the initials for the guy on the left.
DK.
Canals,
Dwayne Koger.
that's a K. Koger.
Must be, I
On
don't
the
know.
right, give us the initials.
He looks familiar.
On the right, JL. Should look familiar to you.
I was gonna say, okay, give up.
It's Jim Little.
Oh,
Okay.
Jiminy.
Yeah. I didn't know he was an Arcola boy.
According to Dwayne
Give us
Coger,
a girl.
left to right is Dwayne Coger, Tony Gilbert, Jane Blagg, Alice Sargent, Patsy Wood, who married Dwayne, and Mary Blagg and Jim Little.
Okay. Now, Jane Blagg is Jane Munson. That's Don Munson's wife. God, she really hasn't changed all that much. Alice Sargent was Bill Sargent's sister,
Mhm.
younger sister. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Bill would have
I don't
liked
know
his
where
picture.
this was. Tuscola Recreation Bowling. And then there's a sign up here about USI.
Petrochemicals.
Yeah.
Jim Little.
But I don't have any information on this picture either.
That's out in nature.
Yeah. This is before they had air conditioning, I guess.
Or something, you know what I mean, with the railroad track and
Hugo.
Hugo or Gold. That's the basement of the library, isn't it?
I don't think so. Looks like a church, but I
I'm
don't have,
looking at the guy in the back row guys. You don't have any names?
no, I don't have any names. Of course,
No,
some,
wait a minute. I got two.
you
That's
get,
Mrs. Wilson right there.
It is.
Virginia Wilson. That was Carol was in your class,
Right.
and that's Betty Weber. This is at the
Your
Presbyterian
church.
Church
This is your church. But you wouldn't know this because you were never
in this
in this
church.
church.
So I just recognize these two ladies.
Betty Weber. What was her maiden name? Betty.
Should know, can't remember. You know, she's a pretty good golfer.
She was.
She really was.
Okay, now we have the famous Red Baron. Bob Ace is upper right, and right below him is Bob Knapp, the builder.
Mhm.
And lower left is it's not Al Shields,
Kind of looks like Albert.
Albert Shields maybe, but Bob Knapp lower right,
It's a younger Al Shields.
younger Al Shields.
Ron
Robert the Red
Thompson,
Baron,
top left.
Ron Thompson, yeah. His daughter's in my class.
Terrible driver.
Joanne Connor thinks middle guy in the back, Alvin Schaefer.
Becky. Beck, here's Dorinda Knapp's dad, Bob. Looks just like his son.
Mm-hmm. He does.
His son had a mustache like that too.
Yeah, I remember him.
Tell you what, Greg Hastings looks a lot like his dad.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Ron Thompson ran the mobile station, catty corner from the funeral home,
Mm-hmm.
and
Gould took over, didn't he? Walt Gould?
I can't remember if Walt owned one on the highway or if Ron Thompson took it from Gould.
Took it from Gould.
Yeah. And Jack Shook worked for him.
That is Danny Lee's brother up there now that I see him from the side.
Yeah.
And the drummer is Marty Croft. With
Mark
with a Confederate flag.
flag on the drum.
Luckily, up until about a month ago, he would have been arrested. Now that's perfectly legal.
That's legal. As of January 20th.
As of January 20th.
You know, Marty Kropp ended up teaching at Unity.
Did not know that.
He was an industrial arts teacher, I believe.
Now, this may clear up the drummer issue because Bob Beasley says left to right, Dick Lee, Frank Hausman, Bob Beasley.
Well, you know what? I could switch my vote pretty easy if Bob's sure that's him.
If Bob Beasley says that's Bob Beasley, then I'm going to go with Bob Beasley.
That sure doesn't look like Bob Beasley to
It
me.
does not look like Bob Beasley.
Well, Bob
And Bob
Beasley says
graduated
it is.
59, and this is probably 61. So unless Bob came back home, tell Bob to blow that up and check it again.
Well, Bob
Bob's
says
a
he
great
played
guy, but his
drums with-
eyesight's been failing for years now. He was a drummer. Bob was a drummer, no question. There they go. They're heading down to Arcola to tour the museum.
We're heading out, but I don't have any names.
Hold it just a second.
Mink coat.
Yeah, a mink coat,
A lot of mink
a
coats.
lot of mink.
Look at them. I'll go back there. The mink coats. We're going to count the mink coats. David. Talk
That's
about-
wild.
Yeah, even
Go back
has
a
the
little
mink
bit.
still. Yeah, that's a real mink coat. So is that
Can you
one.
go back
But
one? Well, we haven't seen. We can't see it. There we go. They got 1, 2. That may be a shawl right there. 3, 4, 5. We see at least 5 dead animals on their shoulders.
You don't see many folks wearing a mink coat on a
Well, they throw
school bus.
they throw red paint on you.
It's an old Cadillac sitting right there.
What is that, about a 52?
54, maybe 5, maybe. But we don't recognize, hold on just a sec. I thought that was Emily Marsh for a minute. That's all right. There it is. See in the middle there?
Uh-huh.
That I don't think so. This elevator's got a stump.
yeah, I don't know.
Down near camp.
I don't know.
I don't have any information on it.
Is it Hinesboro before they tore it down, or was it Filson before they
It
built
could-
a new elevator?
Could be Filson. There's back when we had a band
Band.
with uniforms and looked pretty sharp.
Pretty
They
sharp.
used to march in formation. We could probably name the drum majoress if you could blow it up a little bit. Oh, we couldn't recognize them, could we?
No, I don't think so.
A little blurry.
A little blurry.
Good picture though.
And that's it.
Wow.
Fun group of pictures.
I assume Bob's down in Florida, Beasley. Hi, Bob, if you're watching. I think he was a good carpenter. I think he had a pool business. Last I heard years ago, decades ago, he had a pool business in Florida, pool cleaning, not billiards.
That didn't look like the Bob Beasley I do.
Bob had a flat top and wore glasses, looked like.
Is he in the picture there?
Well, I got to go back to here.
60.
I think he's 59. Let's see. I think we'll get Frank House on here, but let's see. I do think I think he's Bees with Bees with Kenny Snyder
Yeah.
and those guys. Let's see if we get what's his name here. There's Julius Crop.
That was Julius Crop on the drums.
Here we go.
No doubt about it.
Right here. Can you get it?
Yeah. But his hair looks lighter.
Well, when he played the drums, it got darker. It says drum ensemble. This was, let's see if we can see what's his name here.
Adele Dotson.
There's
Donna
Donna.
Hausman.
Gary Holmes now lives in France, moved to France, according to Chuck.
Wow.
He'd seen enough. Remember Richard Chapman,
Yeah,
little lefty?
little lefty. Mike Browning married Virginia Toomey.
Well, they had it annulled pretty quick.
Well, they may have, but at the same time, it just so happens they're in the yearbook together.
That is true. They went down to Missouri with with Larry Kirshner
Is that who went down there?
Yeah, four of them went.
You could get married down there?
You get married when you were 16 or something. And
Wow.
that's where I ran off.
But we got, it's almost,
Gotcha.
I got another appointment, so we got to wrap up.
Well, if you think we're slowing down and not interesting, we understand.
No, it's not that at all.
We enjoyed it.
David, we enjoyed it, and thanks for doing this. It's a lot of fun.
And if anyone wants to come and see us, we're still here talking.
Yeah, we'll
All
be
right.
showing the yearbook here. Come by the house.
Thanks, David.
See you
Thanks,
later.
and we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.